Hi there, this is Keri. Today we're going to be drawing a picture of Travis as a kobold. Now, the very first thing that you do while you're usually doing the sketches, the rough stuff and everything like that, is you ask questions about what kind of kobold it's going to be. Is it going to have a long or short nose? Is it going to have ears, a horn, a hood, human-esque eyes, or more reptilian dead dragon eyes? All of these things together, along with what kind of element your character wants to have associated with it. And that's how you get some of these basic features, a guide to where you're going to go. You start painting this picture in your head, looking at references, because all art is a derivative of life that we can witness in front of us. But the important thing as well is always to remember you're not going to get everything perfect, such as how I was drawing these teeth. I obviously didn't get it right the first couple of times, so I went back, I erased it, went back in and corrected it. And it's okay to make mistakes. What ends up happening is not only do we end up seeing things hidden in those mistake lines, it allows us to be more free and be more willing to have new creative outlets, because creativity cannot be done without destruction, like many other gods and goddesses in the world. Now here, we are focusing on the features of a blue dragon, which does have ears, it has horns, it has more human-esque deep-set eyes than some other dragons, and of course the snaggly mouth that we got going on. I also added a nice little horn to the front because that's where most of the time electricity comes from in these dragons. But where we're at right now, I'm starting to add in wrinkles. Now, wrinkles, when you're dealing with horns, are very important because it's a protrusion, and the skin wraps around that protrusion. You can see it in goats too, where the skin is pushing up because it's almost like it's folded over and allowing that to come through the skin in a certain area, but managed best with keratin, kind of like what's on your fingernails. Now here, we start adding in the shadows. I thought the light source was going to come from the upper right at first, but then I decided, you know what, we've got most of the face on the right side, our right, the subject's left, so why don't we instead have light coming from behind and to the upper left, just a little bit, so that way we can catch some really harsh viewing of the snout. And what you're seeing now is me adding in skin wrinkles. Now this part is super important, this right here, because it's going to help define our shape, and the direction in which you create those wrinkles is also going to define your shape. You don't want to have lines going in the wrong direction, because eventually what's going to happen, if it's not following the shape, especially with skin, it's going to create a situation where your textures in the foreground and the background are just going to conflict with each other. It's going to cause confusion. Now, we're going to have a switch over to color here in just a second. And now I'm just adding some color. I've already established the shape. I've already established a really strong line work. So now we're just in a coloring book. I'm putting the highlights all on that left side, and I'm adding in very strong light source. And then what I'm going to do with some shapes is just put in a little bit of reflective light. And we're done.